Okay, so now it is time to meet the amazing people standing alongside Rachel and Nathan. Their bridal party. Now, if I pronounce a name wrong, I will apologise. I'm going to go with that's how we say it in Australia. But let's just see. So let's start with the bridesmaids. And first, I guess for all the wedding party, because we're all different, I'm just going to get you to stand up when I call your name. So first is Regan Croy. Regan! Okay, so Regan is a friend of the bride from high school and the nicest person on the planet. Next we have Carly Lowe. And where's Carly? Right there. Carly is a friend of the bride from high school, also the nicest person on the planet. And next up we have Maddie Johnson, one of my two favourite nieces and sister of the bride, another one of the nicest people on the planet. And then Hannah McDonald. There's Hannah. Friend of the bride from grad school in Ottawa, gives Regan, Carly and Maddie a run for their money on being the nicest person on the planet. And last but definitely not least, we have Carly Smith. There's Carly. Carly is the maid of honour, long-time friend of the bride. Should have actually been on Smarter Than a Fifth Grader. And yes, one of the nicest people on the planet. Okay, and now the groomsmen. First we have Evan Makovic. Evan is a friend of the groom from Ottawa, is very good at golf and chess, and pretty good at Catan. Next up we have Sam Parsonson. Oh, Sam is right there. Friend of the groom from Ottawa, not as good at golf, but also good at Catan. Then we have Megan Belhumer. Friend of the groom from undergrad in Kelowna, very kind and generous. Not sure about the golf skills. Okay, and then Matthew Logan. Matthew, brother of the groom. Better at golf than everyone else. And last, but definitely not least, Jeff Hiscock, the best man. Friend of the groom from grade school, sorry. I have no idea if he golfs. No. Let's give them all a big round of applause. And of course, let's put our hands together and welcome the couple that we're all here to celebrate, Rachel and Nathan. So there is a chance this evening I will call Rachel, and I know I've already done it, I will call Rachel Rooster, a nickname that's stuck for many, many years, I believe started by Maddie. It went from Rachel Ruth to Rachie Roo to Rooster. So Rooster and Nate, congratulations. Okay, so just one more announcement I'm going to make right now, and then we get back to the festivities. Dinner will be at 6:30. The bar will be closed at 6:30. There's wine on the tables, but if you want to drink for dinner that's not wine, you need to get it before 6:30. And the bar will open again at dessert.
Rachel and I have known each other since, I think, kindergarten, maybe grade 1. early enough in elementary school that I can't remember the exact year that we met, and we weren't friends right away. As a little kid, I knew Rachel as the athlete, one of the girls who'd compete with the boys at recess. She won cross-country races. She was outgoing, talented, and well-loved. Whereas I was a bit of a teacher's pet, I must admit, so we didn't exactly run in the same schoolyard circles. Years later, Rachel told me that she thought I had a special watch with a calculator in it through elementary school because she was sure I was cheating in math class. Rachel and I finally became friends in 6th grade when we made the same volleyball team in the city and our parents organized a carpool. Sandy, Peter, Mom and Dad, I'm sure you remember those first few awkward silent car rides where we didn't say a word to each other. But pretty quickly, Rachel and I realized we actually had a lot in common, and being teammates turned into being friends in middle school, and then eventually best friends. So Nate, technically you met her and were her friend before I was, but I saw her through her Animal Crossing phase, the first time she cut bangs, and high school calculus class. Rachel and I's friendship has endured since then through long distance, going to different universities. We both took remote internships and now living across the country from each other. Yet, we still have a yearly tradition where she comes out to my family's cabin every summer. Here are the tears. Some of my favorite memories of us are just driving out. We'd eat A&W in the car, watch the sunset on the way, and just catch up on life. Here we go. The 2 words I'd use to describe Rachel in friendship and in life are committed and steadfast. She's one of those people who's always quietly there for you through the hard stretches, the stressful ones. She'll be there consistently. So when she told me she'd reconnected with this guy from childhood, and he'd grown up to be a pretty cool person, but he lived several provinces away, and they were just friends, and it was casual. They were just chatting. I had a feeling it was more than that. She was invested in him right away. When I finally got to meet Nate, I could see how easily they just clicked. Nate matched her sense of humor, her intelligence, and her passions in life. They both approach things the same way, with care, thoroughness, research, and a do-it-yourself attitude. Whether that's home cooking all of Darwin's meals, using only organic carrots because he can taste the difference, Rachel has told me. He won't eat non-organic. Or Nate custom building a terrarium home for their gecko, or Rachel hand knitting shawls for each of the bridesmaids today in the midst of all her other wedding prep. This attitude I know will carry you both forward in your marriage as you continue to grow together, challenge each other, and build your home together, or rather, Darwin's home that you cohabitate. I'll end with a note to Nate. Sorry. I consider Rachel practically a sister, so I'm excited to have you in my life now as practically a brother-in-law. It's official now, you're my go-to call for life when I'm worried I'm killing one of my houseplants and I need advice. I couldn't be happier to watch you marry my best friend today, and I wish you both nothing but the best as you head into this new chapter of married life. I toast to Rachel and Nate. Congratulations.
Well, that was awesome. Thank you. So up next, we'll hear from someone who has shared many adventures with Nathan. The best man, please welcome Jeff.
Well, that was beautiful and hard to top. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Jeff Hiscock. I just want to thank you all for being here today. I know some of you traveled a long way to celebrate Nate and Rachel, and I know it means so much to them, and it means so much to us. And It's not every day that we get to come together like this. I've known Nate since elementary school, and it's an honor being asked to stand with him today as his best man. I'm grateful to be able to celebrate this moment, and I would like to thank both families for raising two really amazing, intelligent people that I'm lucky to call my friends, and the smartest fifth graders I know. Some of my favorite memories with Nate were during the summer we went backpacking through Europe. It was our big adventure before he moved away for university. We had decided it would be a good idea to bring the cheapest one-person tent that we could find to a music festival, with a plan to sleep in them for 3 nights. Before we could even finish setting them up, they got hit with a torrential downpour and they collapsed and washed away. We ended up having to sleep in a tent of a random group of German guys, making the best of a crazy situation. And if you ever talk to Nate for more than 5 minutes, you'll know he always brings the conversation to one of his 2 favorite topics, maps or plants. And that's how we end up spending our afternoon in Vienna in the world's coolest globe museum. Only Nate would drag us across Europe to look at 200-year-old outdated maps. The first time I met Rachel, Nate had brought her along for a concert in Calgary. And honestly, I could tell right away they were meant to be. Nate was happier, lighter, and somehow even more himself. Rachel, you are smart, thoughtful, and patient. The perfect match for Nate. You bring out the best in him, and anyone that knows you two can see how much stronger you are together. You support each other, challenge each other, and have fun together. Not to mention, you're polishing it off very well. You both made a great choice in each other, and I can't wait to see where life takes the two of you. So if you join me, let's raise a glass to Nate and Rachel. Nachel. To love, partnership, and a lifetime of adventure. Congratulations.
Thank you for coming. This is my lovely wife, Sandra. When I got involved in this, I didn't really know what I was getting involved in. The most beautiful woman in the room, however, today is our daughter. Again, when I got involved in this, I didn't know this was scripted. Somewhat like a TV show. Like, we've got 7 minutes right now. And if we go over 7 minutes, the music starts playing. So I'm on a strict timeline, so I can't talk too much. What's next?
What you're going to talk about. I'm a little bit nervous, kind of like Trump's handlers, because I don't know. You get Peter a mic and it could go a little bit off script. So. Anyways, I'm going to say some thank yous. I'm sure Rachel and Nate are going to say a bunch of thank yous.
Talk into the mic.
Oh, I'm sure Nate and Rachel are going to say many thank yous too, but I have a few that I would like to, and I'm on script, so. First of all, thank you for all being here so long away from home. I know that's been said, but I know for everyone has traveled some distance. So thank you for being here to share this special day with our lovely couple.
You're supposed to clap there. I saw that in the script.
And to the people that made it extra special, I would like to really thank Rachel's bridesmaids. Holy cow, you girls rocked it. And you were so supportive of our girl, and I just thank you from the bottom of my heart. And not only the girls, but the groomsmen and their partners, and the girls' partners, and husbands, and boyfriends, and fiancés. We pulled up here with a wagon full of stuff to help decorate and everything. Those kids cleared that, unloaded our cars, they hauled it in here. They had this place decorated in an hour, so thanks to all of the bridesmaids and the groom. Riley Smith, and I'm sure Debbie and Carly helped with all the cupcakes that are your favors over there, so thanks to them. And my dear friend Kathy, who made the Vina Tarda, which is an Icelandic dessert, traditional Icelandic dessert, and I have it on good order that Kathy's is the best. So everybody have a taste of that when you can. And then Sandra and Perry, thank you for raising your boy to be who he is. He's such a lovely young man, and we couldn't ask for a better partner for our daughter. I think as parents, you wish and you dream and you hope that your children will be as cherished by their partner as you have cherished them. And so we know that Nate does cherish our daughter, so thank you very much for raising him to be that man. I think there was 3 times when I went, oh yeah, Nate's the one. The first time, I remember thinking, I don't know, Rachel, do you know this story? Well, you'll know it right away. They were in their long distance phase, and Rachel had just gone out to visit Nate, which was a whole nother story because I was really worried. I'm going over 7 minutes, I'm going totally off script. But I was really worried because she didn't even know this guy. She knew him from 5th grader, and now she's going out there to spend a week with him. And I'm like, really? But anyways, they were just newly dating, and Rachel was in university, and she was sick with a cold. And do you know what Nate did? He ordered soup by Skip the Dishes to her. And I went, holy cow, that kid is something. He is kind. The second time was that Rachel fusses a lot and worries a lot. I don't know if you know that about her. But she was fussing over some medical concern that Darwin was having. And Nate said to her, you're not allowed to worry about it if the vet isn't saying anything. So Nate often will put her nip the worry right in the bud. So he is definitely her calm. He's the calm in her storm. And the third time, okay, he followed her to Ottawa, that's one thing. But then he followed her to Manitoba. And what Albertan moves to Manitoba? So, yeah. So, yeah, I'm just grateful for you, Nate, and you too. I'll let Peter talk a little bit. I feel like I've talked a lot.
I'm not really big on scripts because, and I know that frightens a lot of people. You know, south of the border, they had something, you know, like he called it his big, beautiful bill. We've got our not big, but beautiful bride here today. When we named Rachel, she was 4 days. We had to induce her for 4 days. And I was taking a course in the city, so I was going every night, and I'm going, do we have another kid yet or what? And when she came out, finally, we said, what are we going to name this kid? And she was very timid and very small and very tiny and very dainty and very quiet. So we named her Rachel. And then the 25th hour happened. And then she started to talk, and then she started to get active. Sometimes with babies, you know, we knew she was going to be an adventurer because babies, you know, like to go chest to chest. Rachel never did that. It was my chest and her back because she always had to see what was going on. Very adventurous and very curious. Anybody remember the Munsters? Well, that's why I always thought that Rachel was our Marilyn, because the rest of us kind of looked the same and kind of did the same sort of thing and sort of had the same intelligence. And then we had this blonde kid that knew what was going on. And the rest of us kind of struggled through life. So we've been very fortunate to follow her lead. Very proud, you know. I took a course one time, and we had to, it was talking about adult education and speaking, public speaking. So the way they did it was, as you were going up, you had to take it out of the fishbowl. And Rachel wasn't born yet, but I had to take it out, and I spoke on something else. They said, "What's your proudest accomplishment?" Well, I think even though we raised them and it was a biological event that was going to happen, and it happens a trillion times a day on this planet, we're very proud of all of our kids. They contribute to society. They're trying to make society better. And that's how, as a country, we're going to get better, because of people like our children. So, get a glass. To Rate and Rachel. Rachel. Just one more thing, and I'm very disappointed that we couldn't accommodate Darwini, because I miss him.
Come on, Rooster. Thank you, Sandy and Peter. Okay, and now the parents who helped shape Nathan into the amazing person we see here today. Please welcome Sandra and Perry Logan.
So it's easy to remember our names, right? Sandra and Peter, Sandra and Perry.
Sandra and Steve.
Sandra and Steve over there. We have another Sandra in BC. Yeah, there's lots of us around. Again, thank you everybody for coming tonight. And so Perry says he's doing his own thing. He's a bit like, I wonder if there's a theme here. But anyway, I'm going to talk first. I do have a script. This is where Nathan gets his organization skills, and also his patience is from me. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here to celebrate Nathan and Rachel, and to share in this very happy and hopeful night. Nate, you look so handsome, and Rachel, you are glowing. I'm probably going to cry. I'm not going to get through this without crying. Jocelyn and Gavin, you know what to do. Come on, louder. I'm going to have to throw that in a few times through my speech. They're very excited to click the glass there. Yeah. The two of you make a gorgeous couple, but you are much more than what we see on the outside. The two of you have a depth of intelligence and character, and you really are an inspiration. I have to mention the Pelicans. Did everybody see the Pelicans today over top of them while they were doing their vows? When Nathan, the first summer that he moved away from home, because he moved, if you didn't know, he's been in one territory, 4 provinces. When he moved away from home, yeah, you got it wrong, did you? Yeah, sorry. When he moved away from home, his birthday's in the summertime, and we live in the middle of Alberta, and for some reason there was this big pelican in the middle of the lake behind our house, and everybody's, what is that? Is that an inflatable toy? What's that on the lake? And it was his birthday, and I was walking around the lake, and I thought, it's a pelican. What is this pelican doing there? And it floated around the lake for a couple days, just by itself on the lake. And we get a few in Alberta along the Bow River, but not usually in Airdrie on the middle of the lake by our house. And then today, and I've always thought that was a bit of a sign, because it was when he moved away from home. And then when we saw the pelicans today, and there was 2 of them doing this figure 8, like infinity dance over top of you, it was so beautiful. So I don't know, pelicans might be a sign for you, pay attention. Yeah. When we were married almost 40 years ago, our minister told us something that we've never forgotten. that when you marry each other, you also marry each other's families. That means learning new ways of doing things, accepting different rhythms, and sometimes feeling a little annoyed. These moments are real, but they're also opportunities to grow and to laugh and to learn from one another. Tonight, we are going to celebrate that beautiful, messy joining. Nathan, Nate the Great. We've been calling him Nate the Great since he was like 1 year old. Nate has always put family first, from the small, steady ways he checks in to the big, loyal gestures that he makes without fanfare. Family, this is where I'm going to cry. Family is the compass that he follows. He is endlessly curious, he loves to learn, and he's always willing to try new things. Nathan is just he's never been a boring child. He's always, like one day I walked in his room and he had masking tape all over the walls. And if you're a parent, you say, "What are you putting masking tape on the walls for?" And he said, "I'm learning a Nordic alphabet." Okay. So whether it was these types of things or what he's exploring today, his loyalty, his kindness, his lively curiosity are the foundations of this man that we love, and how we know that he will stand by Rachel through everything that life brings you. Knowing Nathan will never come back home to us has been hard, as any parent of an adult child knows, and I cry every time I leave you. But we know he found his home here with you, Rachel, and we think it's great. It's a fortune that you guys ended up meeting each other 18 years ago. Knowing that Nate has been embraced with open arms by Rachel's family, by Peter and Sandy, gives us such pleasure. Sandy and Peter, knowing that you have roots in this community and in this family, will now become Nathan's roots. This has given us such pleasure. When Nate was growing up, we moved on his first birthday, we moved on his third birthday, and on his fifth birthday, he said, "Where are we moving now?" Because he thought we always moved on odd-numbered birthdays. Our family's roots are like northern trees. We lived in Whitehorse, Yukon when Nathan was born, and the roots of the trees spread across the surface of the land. And that's what our roots are really like. Our families from BC, from Alberta, we're spread out. But the Mandrick family, you're deeply rooted in this soil, in this land. And that abundance you should never take for granted, because we see that as a great gift for our son. Rachel, we admire you so deeply. You work in the Arctic Ocean. You show such courage and determination that only some of us can imagine. You leave the comforts of your home to do research in challenging conditions. That takes rare strength and a curiosity about the world. You are impressively smart, thoughtful, and resourceful, and we see how your intelligence complements Nate. I have pockets in my dress so I can get out my tissue. That's why I bought the dress, it has pockets. But that takes such strength. You are impressively smart and thoughtful and resourceful, and we see how that your intelligence complements Nathan and his loyalty perfectly. We welcome you into our family with open arms, and we will always offer you and Nate unconditional love, and we hope that you see past traditional stereotypes of the crazy in-laws, that's talking about Perry, and see us as support whenever you need us. Together, you are a force. You worked hard for your degrees, you built careers, you bought a home, you planned this beautiful wedding, you set goals, you pursue them as a team. That shared determination and steady teamwork are the strongest foundations for a life together. Life can take you in many different directions, and I think the term right now is adulting is hard. But we have so much confidence in you as a team. During your marriage, you will have many ups and downs, but hold on, and hold on to each other, and hold on to your family. Hold on to this feeling that you have right now today. Laugh at your mistakes. Learn from life's challenges, and continue to learn from the earth. Because at the end of the day, that's all that is real, is the feelings you have for each other and this solid ground below us. Every time our family grows, so does our pride. We couldn't have picked a better partner for Nathan. Rachel, we welcome you into this family with open arms and full hearts, and we promise loyalty, laughter, and a place always at our table. We promise to learn your ways as you learn ours. Although you lived with us during the pandemic, so I think you know our ways. But anyway, we will always make room for new traditions and be there for you both through every season. So please raise your glasses to Nathan and Rachel. May your life together be rich in adventure, steady in love, and surrounded always by family. To Nathan and Rachel.
For the longest time, because I wasn't part of the 5th grader, I stayed home, looked after the cat, the dog, my mom, stuff like that. So I know Rachel as the veterinarian from Manitoba. I think that was her title. And Nate was a chef. So let's see how that's worked out. And then first time I really got to meet Rachel was at her house. That's when I knew they were getting serious. She came to visit. And so we do dinners and sort of try to make people feel at home. And so I was trying to be polite and ask the right question. I said, so what do you enjoy for dinner? She says, I'm a vegan. I said, shit, I don't know. She knows about vegetarian. So I went, okay, we can get past that. And they're both pretty structured. She's got vinegar in her blood, if you guys don't know it. She stands up for herself, which I got a ton of respect for. And I remember when they got their dog. We called him Darwin. And we had a naming contest. I wanted to call him Little Dick. I don't know if you ever met the dog. So their dog's gonna be perfect. I got a dog over there with my son-in-law that thinks it's a kangaroo. My son and his wife have a dog that opens a door with his head. Our dog eats at the table and runs around, but their dog's gonna be perfect. You know where I'm going with this. This dog's perfect, so that's fine. I just wish them luck. About a year later, Sandra and I went to Ottawa. I had to go to a conference, and she came with us. Rachel was on a northern cruise, so we took Nate out for lunch. We're gonna take him out for lunch. And I said, I wonder how their dog's doing. I'm sure he's trained really well and all that stuff. Open the door in the apartment, we go in. He's running around being a dog. I sit down at the little chair they got there to take my shoes off. And he jumps up on me and pisses all over me. So whatever they paid for dog training, they should probably get their money back. But, being serious, I got a ton of respect for Rachel. We love Darwin. Okay, yes, we do. We just don't visit as often. Anyway, where was I? I lost script. Today's the first time I've cried in probably a long time, 40 years, because I just don't. And I sat there trying to figure out why, and I realized that, and I said this to Rachel and Nate a few minutes ago, as I realized my youngest son's just found just a beautiful bride, but she's a smart woman, and she's good for him. And then I looked at the rest of my family. My other son was up there and realized how fortunate I am with him and his wife. And then I got my daughter over there with my son-in-law that are just outstanding, and 2 grandkids that just make life worthwhile. So we're always talking, Nate has a plan, and he does. They both have a plan. But life's not a plan, it's a journey. And you guys are going up and down and all around. But what's very, very, very cool is look around this room. You got a lot of very good friends and family. And at the end of the day, this is what it's about. So congratulations and welcome to the family.
To Nathan and Rachel. Jocelyn and Gavin, you know what to do. Yeah.
To break the trend of husbands not having a script, I have written something down.
And I'm just here to make sure he doesn't forget anything.
What would I do without you? Thank you. This has been said a lot tonight, but genuinely thank you to each and every one of you for coming. We'll get into how many of you came from out of province, but it's an extraordinary thing. And even as Sandy said, the people who just even drove from Winnipeg, we really appreciate you being here and being part of what made this day so lovely. So on that note, we do have a few thank yous. Sandy kind of stole my moment with it by thanking each person individually already. But Kathy, thank you for the peanut tarta. Riley, thank you for the cupcakes and the Smiths. Alex, I think you also helped icing everyone involved with that. That's very polite of you and nice, and I'm really looking forward to eating one of them. Thank you to Jeff and Victoria, who've been outstanding photographers all day today. They drove around with us. They were in the golf cart. They stood on a very windy beach for an hour. Really, really appreciate that. Todd, thank you for last minute volunteering to be the filmographer. You're doing a tremendous job. Gary, thank you for being MC. You're doing outstanding, or as you'd say, awesome. It's going great. Reed, that was genuinely, you knocked it out of the park. Thank you so much. That was tremendous. We also want to take a moment again just to thank our bridal party, as well as our bridal party spouses, as well as everyone else who.
He means wedding party.
Wedding
not
party,
just the
not bridal.
side.
Yeah. Also, my guys, you guys too. But you guys did not help decorate the room as much. Let's be real. We picked flowers. But thank you for carrying things in. Thank you for decorating. We had a small army, and we couldn't have done it without each and every one of you. Now, to one other housekeeping, we are doing a wiener roast tomorrow at 11 a.m. for people who are around. It is
Right.
going to, right?
11?
Yeah. It is
Okay.
going to probably pour rain. It luckily didn't today, but don't think we're going to be as lucky tomorrow. Still probably going to happen. So if you're around, feel free to stop by. We will be around. Say hello.
There will be veggie dogs.
Yeah. Okay, now to what everyone's been waiting for, trivia answers. So, I'm going to go through the answers, and I'm going to do a countdown from the top three, and we'll see who won the wine. How many engaged couples are at the wedding? This was a trick question. There are 5.5. There are 5 engaged couples, plus Megan's partner Jeff's brother decided he was getting married today too, so he did not come. So there were 5.5. I gave you a half mark if you said 5 or 6. How many captains are there? Can the captains please stand up? Sam, sit down.
Sam, sit down.
We have Captain Juvenin, we have Captain Wanky, and we have Captain Krusty. How many people came from out of province? This is outstanding. 35 by my count. Average age of the guests. Okay, this one, I'm gonna be honest, I did not do the math of this till like 3 hours ago, so it's a bit off memory, so I was kind of forgiving.
It's really hard to guess people's ages unless
Yeah.
you're exactly sure, so it was ballpark.
Forgot to put it in my spreadsheet. So I gave you a marker between like 30 and 40 was kind of the range. My guess was 35.
And we guessed 42.
How many standard drinks per adult? There are 10.1 standard drinks per adult at the bar. So please do not drink that much unless you like really want to, but if we run out, everyone's cut off. What subject is Rachel's master's in? Geography. I accepted a few other funny answers, but geography was the word I was looking for. What company do I work for? WSP. I was actually kind of laughing at some of these answers. Someone had some other consulting firms. I don't know who, like, okay. WSB was close, but nope. Where did Nate propose? I proposed in the kitchen at the Morley house. Someone was overly specific and said the living room. You did not get the mark. If you just said the Morley house, you would have gotten it. Or the kitchen. How many provinces or territories have I lived in? Territories is in there for a reason. I was born in the Yukon, as my mom said. That makes 5. How many nautical miles has Rachel traveled? This is another one. Didn't really do the math ahead of time. We accepted anything between 10,000 and 40,000 because it's somewhere in there. Okay. What is the largest lake in Canada by volume? You could have Googled this. I'm surprised. I'm actually really impressed by how many of you are so honest, because not actually that many people got it right. The answer is Great Bear Lake. Okay. Not Great Slave, not Lake Superior, it's about 100% in Canada. What year did Manitoba join Confederation? Another one, probably could have Googled, 1870. How old is the Earth? I would have accepted either 6,000 years or 4.5 billion. Question number 14, which of course said, what font is this? The answer was Wingdings. And then I gave everyone a picture who drew, I gave everyone a marker to draw a picture, which I'm going to keep. So you're not getting any of these back. This was all a ploy.
Except for Gavin.
Gavin can have his back, actually, because I understand he wants it. Now, to the winners. So I'm going to announce his top 3. Coming in at 9 out of 15, we have table 8. Coming in at 9.5 out of table 15, or out of 15, we have table 11. And then, I should have known because I'm pretty sure they're the only people that were willing to pull out their phones and Google all these answers. My family at table 2 are 10.5 out of 15. You guys win the wine and Gavin gets a sheet back. Thank you for participating in this. This was really fun.
I have some additional housekeeping items. Housekeeping item number 1 is please sign the guest book.
Yes.
We want to commemorate this with all of you, and I am a very sentimental person. It would mean a lot if you wrote a little note. Also, there's a Polaroid camera there, and there should also be a disposable camera somewhere. So feel free to take those, take pictures of yourselves, of others, return the Polaroids if you want to take a little picture of it as a keepsake. Polaroids are mine. And you'll also notice that there's a map. Manitoba people. I think we've covered Winnipeg. So if you're from a community outside of Winnipeg, I invite you to drop a pin so we can display this of all of the lovely people that we've been able to have here today. We should have 35 locations other than Winnipeg, give or take. All right. Thank you again, everyone, so much for being here. This has been lovely. And I think dessert is being served shortly. For folks with dietary restrictions such as gluten-free, vegan, lactose-free, there are additional cupcakes, and Regan's gonna do a very lovely Vanna White. Oh, and the succulents. Oh, party favors are succulents from Nate's 15-year-old?
I don't know how old he is. He's been a while.
Ancient jade tree. And there are the chocolate cupcakes made by Riley with the salted caramel frosting over there in the boxes. And then there's also vegan and gluten-friendly cupcakes. Okay, thank you again. Thank you again. Enjoy dessert. It will be, what is it?
Cheesecake?
Creme brulee cheesecake, if that's up anyone's alley. All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Have a good time.